Hey guys, this is Shannon, and I thought I would show you some of my keto meal prep for the week. As you can hear, I have already started. I have bacon defrosting in the microwave. My oven is preheating. I have sausage cooking in a pan. I'm going to make this into keto sausage and gravy, and I'm going to make a big batch of it so Chris has plenty for the week. And my eggs. Lots and lots of eggs. Chickens are doing great, so I'm going to be boiling up a bunch of eggs to have throughout the week. And excuse my kitchen, I am doing dishes and cleaning as I work. So I just thought I would take you along on my keto meal prep for the week. So this is the flour that I normally use when making ham sausage gravy. I have tried other like almond and coconut and stuff. It just does not turn out as well. Yes, there are a few more carbs. It says it's 1:1 substitution for net carbs, but we don't really look at the net carbs. We look at the total carbs. And there are 14 total carbs for a quarter cup. And for this entire thing of sausage gravy, I will use a quarter to a half a cup. Closer to a quarter cup. It just depends. And then he will eat this for over a week. So that will spread that carb count out big time. The other thing I use is heavy cream and a little bit of water and salt and pepper, and that's it. So the carb count on this is not bad. And then I just make him breakfast bowls with it, which is like sausage gravy on top of eggs and cheese. So, and he really loves that. So this is what 2 pounds of sausage and half a cup of that flour is, along with some heavy cream, water, salt, and pepper. And Chris likes his a little more loose. I like it really, really thick, but I always make it a little looser because when it cools, it thickens, and then I can always add a little water or a little bit of heavy cream to his to thin it out a little bit so that it goes over his eggs really well. So this is going to be a staple pretty much throughout the week. Chris will have this multiple times for breakfast. I still haven't finished cooking the bacon yet, but I have my gravy and I scrambled up some eggs. He likes them lightly scrambled, so they're still pretty soft. You can see that the residual heat is just finishing cooking them. So I'll put a layer of that, a layer of gravy with some shredded sharp cheddar on top. And that is what he's gonna have for his breakfast / lunch. I think it is like 2:19 in the afternoon, and this is the first meal of the day. So I have 2 pans of bacon already cooking in the oven, and this pan I had space on, so I tossed 6 burger patties. These will just be eaten at some point during the week. Whenever Chris wants a burger patty or I want a burger patty, we'll just have it I like mine with cheese, mayo, and pickles, and he likes his all the way. And then I have sugar-free ketchup, mayo, mustard, that kind of thing to go on his with lettuce and tomato. So the grease from the bacon as it cooks will kind of come over here and mix with some of the burger grease, and it'll make the burgers super tasty. And we'll have burgers for the week whenever we want them, and we can always toss some of that good bacon on top. And this is how I store my sausage gravy so it doesn't take up so much space in the fridge. I'm a big fan of mason jars, so I'll fill this up, and as we need it, I'll just dish out for the week. All right, next step is I have eggs boiling, and I have a couple of containers. They go in the fridge so we can make chopped salads, egg salad, just have a sliced up boiled egg with salt on it to snack on. So that is going there. This is actually dog food. That is some ground beef that Chris and I just don't really like the flavor of, a little bit too gamey, and a bunch of frozen eggs that I did not vacuum seal and threw into a plastic bag, so it got freezer burned. So, I mean, they're still fine. They're not really bad, but my chickens are doing so well, so many eggs, that I'm just making some freezer space. I want to be able to, if I see a meat sale, have plenty of space to put stuff in there. So these eggs are coming out and they'll go in the dog's food, and they will have a great meal mixed in with some of their kibble for the next week plus with that. Bacon and burgers are cooking away. I'm actually getting ready to move the trays around a little bit because my bottom tray is getting plenty cooked and the middle tray is not. So I just have such big pans in here, it's kind of blocking a little bit of the heat, but everything will be cooked like 3/4 the way through, and that way I can microwave it, crisp it up, and we'll be good to go. Okay, this is not exactly keto, but it's something I've needed to do for months. I've had all these apples in one of my outdoor refrigerators. I actually got them last, gosh, I want to say like November, and we have just had one thing after another, and I've not been able to make applesauce or apple pie filling. With us watching our sugar, I am not going to make apple pie filling, but I am going to make sugar-free applesauce. I essentially just cook, smush the apples, and can them. And we just have raw, plain applesauce. And yes, it has some sugar and some carbs with it, but every now and then a little treat next to your pork chop is a good thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these going on the stove, get them cooking, and then I will get them all jarred up and canned today. And that will be one more thing off my list, and it will empty out a couple drawers in our outside fridge. Okay guys, it is 9:18. I'm probably gonna be wrapping up my meal prepping after this batch of applesauce comes out and dog food. Chris and I still haven't had dinner. We have leftovers from a camping trip that we probably will have. I have applesauce here, and I'll show you guys what we have in the fridge. Okay, ignore all the fingerprints because I have not cleaned yet. I haven't been grocery shopping either, and I probably am not going to this weekend. I'm probably just going to keep trying to work through what we have in here and use up, and then the garden is also starting to produce. So, and we have tons of veggies in the freezer. So what I have back here is I have 2 pounds of bacon, and then those burgers that I cooked. This is tuna salad for Chris, and I cook with baking grease, so I only take out 1 jar at a time, and that is what I use to do a lot of my baking and just pan sauteing and stuff, other than coconut oil and olive oil and avocado oil. This whole row here is Jellos, sugar-free Jellos, all the way to the back, and then we have some Cool Whip to put on top. This is chocolate mousse. There's a couple of chocolates and a couple of vanillas, so we have dessert this week. And then I could add something like coconut. I have like this paleo mix back here if Chris wanted something like that. Some of the chocolate chips that are sugar-free, anything like that. I have some leftover Alfredo from something I did, I believe it was last week, so I'll probably plan something with that. I have homemade granola in the very back here, and then these are homemade sugar-free Reese's peanut butter cups and brown butter bites with salted caramel chips. This is the leftover applesauce that didn't fill up a jar. We'll have that this week, at least some of it. And then I have just a few blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. These are boiled eggs. These are all kind of nuts. And then this is part of my butter stash. I also have some yogurts. I have some more yogurts that are in the office. I'll probably bring those in. Plenty of stuff in here. This is a mess. I haven't cleaned the fridge out in a while, but there's luncheon meat, cheese, salami, pepperoni, all kinds of cheese, cream cheese, fried cheese, so plenty in there. This is stuff that we are going to be finishing up this weekend. So we went camping last weekend, and this is vacuum sealed, but it is defrosted, so we need to go ahead and finish it up, which is just smoked chopped pork. And I just warm this up and then put some sugar-free barbecue sauce on it in a bowl, and then we'll put some veggies with it. These are ribs that we need to finish up, and then this is sausage that I'm going to use in a sheet pan dinner. If you have this brand, so good. Really, really good sausage. And then, like I said, my veggie drawer is looking a bit sad. These are homemade bagels back here, and broccoli, tomatoes, celery, lettuce, some pears, some carrots, so plenty of vegetables. I do have frozen fruit if we need to add anything like that. So like I said, the garden is starting to produce. This is what I pulled out of it today. It is just starting to come in. And so I have a tomato, I have green beans, I have bell peppers. I can go out and pick a bunch more green beans and zucchini. I will probably make a sheet pan dinner with this and maybe some zucchini fritters, because there's more than enough zucchini there to do for 2 meals. And this is what I have planned out right now. It is not necessarily going to happen on that day. It's just, these are the meals I have. So panko pork chops with applesauce and green beans, a sheet pan dinner with sausage, zucchini, onions, peppers, and maybe some green beans, a whole roast chicken with sweet potato and deviled eggs. And then I'll take that same chicken, pull it all off the bone, and put it on top of a salad. And I think I might do like a crustless pumpkin pie. It's kind of like a souffle, but it's pumpkin and eggs and stuff, or I might make an egg custard. I have so many eggs right now. I think I'm gonna do a steak Alfredo with a side of vegetables. We talked about having a date night next weekend and going out, so maybe Saturday night, we'll see. And then the other weekend night, we'll probably just have leftovers. Weekends, a lot of times, are leftovers for us, just because I wanna make a fresh start come Monday morning and get through all of the leftover stuff in the refrigerator. So Monday, we're starting with new, interesting, fresh things, and not just like, oh, I'm so sick of that. So that is where we're at for the... All right, guys, I think that is going to wrap it up. I have all of 5 minutes left on my timer before I can take my last batch of applesauce out. Usually I do them in little pint jars, but I was tired, so quart jars it is. And I can always freeze it if I need to. I'll probably give a couple of these to the kids. The kids absolutely love my homemade applesauce, especially if they're not feeling well. So these will go up on the pantry shelf. I use them in cooking at the holidays. I'll make applesauce muffins and substitute them for other things. And sometimes I give them out as gifts, but these won't be gifts. These apples were older and not the absolute best, but it's still pretty good, homemade, absolutely no sugar. So as a little bit of a side with some pork chop, I think these are perfectly fine. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Good night.